Hello, I saw you, I know you, I knew you, I think I can remember your name. Today we are doing that issue of Daisy's Imperial Guard that I got, which has the origin of this guy, Pulsar. I called him Starbolt in the other one. That is how confusing these Imperial Guard characters are. This is Pulsar, not Starbolt. He was originally called Impulse, but they changed his name to Pulsar. Starbolt is another character entirely. This is Imperial Guard, issue 283, and it spotlights this character, and that is good for me with my mission to try and understand a single thing about this DC team. When I opened it up, I got a pleasant surprise when I saw that this was written by Roger Thomas. I didn't realise he did any Imperial Guard comics. Maybe he only did this issue. I didn't know. I do know Paul Levi's takes over next issue. Paul Levi's, of course, famous for his denim jeans and the song Inside by Stiltskin. Do Levi's do anything else besides jeans? It seems a really limited business model to only offer... Fuck, I shouldn't have said Stiltskin. I cannot believe I missed the chance to mention Babylon Zoo. I am obsessed with Babylon Zoo, and not in a good way. They are fucking shit. And that is why I am obsessed. Their song Spaceman might be the greatest unintentional prank anyone has ever pulled. And their singer, Jazz Man, is an imbecilic egomaniac.
Are you a genius?
I'd say I will become a genius.
I do often wonder if he ever did become a genius. I won't let my desire to talk about Babylon Zoo overshadow Pulsar though. We open with a neat scene demonstrating some of his powers. There are 3 characters I have never heard of who were rejected from the Imperial Guard. They want to beat Pulsar in combat to prove that they have what it takes to join the Guard. Within 3 pages, we have my problem surface straight away. These characters I have never heard of before start calling each other by their real names instead of their code names, and I am never going to remember these. But at least this time I know it doesn't fucking matter, because these characters aren't important. Many things have been said over the years about Roger Thomas and his writing, and he might not be the greatest at dialogue, but he definitely can structure and compose an issue well. This is a good introductory scene for an Imperial Guard novice like me. It gives a showing to one of the characters and doesn't overwhelm me with continuity. The 2 girls start feeling up Pulsar, and I like that bit. And then he lashes out and pushes them away. We get the explanation for why as Pulsar starts telling his origins to these rookies. Before we get to that, I will explain my history with Pulsar and again the Imperial Guard. The only Imperial Guard comic I had for years and years was issue 306, which I always think of as 307, another instance of me being off by one. That issue was the only actual Imperial Guard issue I had for a decade or over. The issue is similar to this Pulsar one in that it focuses on and spotlights a single character, Neutron. In that issue though, the character that Neutron tells his origin to is Pulsar, so I was always aware of Pulsar. Also helping is that the Jim Starman Superman story with Mongoloid, it ends with an appearance of the Imperial Guard, where Pulsar is the one teammate who actually does anything. So Pulsar, he was like next on the list of Imperial Guard characters that I sort of know. So naturally, I looked to this issue as one I wanted to get because it would be a good opportunity to clue me in on another character I feel a bit familiar with. And this is really exactly what I wanted. It is perfect for my purpose. Obviously, I have a lot more history with the Neutron issue. It was the only one I had for so long. But if only I had this issue alongside it, then maybe I wouldn't have felt quite so out of my depth with Imperial Guards by having a good understanding of two of their members, alongside ones like Mentor or Shapeshifter that I sort of get. Another thing is, I am a romantic. I like romance. I like seeing romance, and I desire it myself, but I'm unlikely to ever have it again. Which is actually another trait of avoidant personality disorder, which I honestly cannot believe a doctor hasn't diagnosed me with. We get a lot of romance in here. Pulsar, he is a romantic, and I like romance because it's nice. Pulsar's real name is Drake, by the way. Yes, let's say that it is that Drake. Do people still like Drake? Do the girls still like Drake? I have never heard a single Drake song, and at a certain point, I realised that and made the decision to avoid them for the novelty of being able to say I have never heard one. He's not exactly Babylon Zoo, is he? Pulsar is torn between two women. We have the daughter of his university lecturer, or the other woman who he does primitive mating rituals with. Roger Thomas, ladies and gents. Drake is training to be an astro engineer, but then there is a superhero origin accident, and his body is transformed into antimatter energy. He is now composed entirely of that energy, and so that he doesn't fade away or dissipate into nothingness, a containment suit is created to, well, contain the energy into a humanoid shape and allow him to continue to live life somewhat like a normal person. It also allows him access to some super abilities, but he must live forever trapped inside this prison, never able to truly feel things or touch another person. He cannot even cry. It is classic superhero angst. and it obviously complicates his love life. We have a montage here showing him learning about his new body and his new abilities, and him slowly ending up in love with the daughter now that he cannot see the other girl anymore. This also made me aware of the fact that Pulsar is obscenely powerful. This character being on a team is a bit of a gag. He makes half of them redundant. Pulsar tracks down his original Fly Honey, and she reacts badly to his new form. She runs away scared. And then Pulsar, he fucks it up some more by causing an accident that sends her to the hospital, and he blames himself and thinks that he must be the sort of monster that she saw. Then he tried to join the Imperial Guards, but he was rejected, but then wound up saving their lives. But they thought he was dead because his suit was drained empty. But then he eventually came back Wonder Man style and properly joined the team. And then we get some resolution to his relationship with the daughter. The daughter has a temporary eel-faced turn, but then snaps out of it. She still rejects him and doesn't want him to touch her. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend has moved on with her life. She has a new fella, and Pulsar decides to move on too. Nice issue, this one. And we have some further resolution in the present when Flashfire, another member of the Imperial Guards, he overheard Pulsar telling his secret origin, and now, realising how alone Pulsar must feel, Flashfire reaches out to try and befriend him. I do recommend this, not only because it was exactly what I wanted from it. I think it is a maybe formulaic but serviceable origin story. If you are in the same boat as me, of trying and often failing to get into Imperial Guards, this could be a good starting point to get the basics on one of their characters. I've got 7 thumbs up this issue.